I just worked out. I'm in my workout clothes still. Don't judge me. I didn't want to put on makeup for this. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Abi Mack. I'm a 21-year-old singer-songwriter from Nova Scotia, Canada. I am so happy you're here. Before we get started today, make sure to subscribe. Also follow the other social medias. We have TikTok and Instagram. I also have Spotify, Apple Music. Because I'm a singer, go listen to all my songs. I would really appreciate it. I'm going to be talking about a pretty broad topic, but I'm going to be talking about my personal journey and my story with it. That is acceptance. But I just talked about this in therapy this week, so I decided that I would make a YouTube video about it. I really never addressed this topic before on any of my social medias. I've been doing music full-time for about a year and 3 months, and I've never really talked about this, but I do have a song about it, but I just didn't really feel safe to, and it felt like very vulnerable. Even though I do talk about really vulnerable things, this just felt a little bit too raw, a little bit too recent, a little bit too vulnerable. But now I'm in a place I feel safe enough to talk about it. When I was 16 years old, I started dating someone, and it was amazing at first. He was kind, he was sweet, he was compassionate, and we really hit it off. This guy was the first time I ever really fell in love with someone. And it was really, really beautiful while it lasted. But then, about a year into our relationship, a lot of things happened. And there were red flags throughout that time. But I didn't know how bad it would get and how horrible of a situation I would be in the future. I just knew I loved him. When I was 17, graduated high school, I was almost 18, we moved out together. And it was easily one of the worst years of my life. It was really, really, really hard. The red flags and aggressive tendencies got 10 times worse. It was unsafe and it was really scary for a long time. And it took me a long time to be able to admit what was happening. And being 18 years old, having to be a primary caretaker for someone and feeling so fundamentally alone, it got to be really, really, really bad. So I was dealing with this horrible situation. And I also want to say that I had moved about an hour away, almost an hour and a half away from my mom and my family. I was really alone. And the only person in the world that I had, I'm not going to mention what role they were to me because that's just, I don't feel comfortable doing that yet. The only family I had up there weren't interested in me and didn't like me. I was in a really abusive, horrible situation. And I eventually had to break free of that. I broke up with this person. It ended very badly. And I was alone. Eventually, about a year after that, or 8 months, I moved and I worked on myself. I started therapy. I did a year and a half of really intense therapy. I started music. I realized a lot of stuff about myself. Started my own business. Started doing what I love every day. And I can quite frankly say I'm happy now. But I wanted today to talk about the word acceptance, because when I started therapy, like intense, going to therapy very, very regularly, I started to realize all these things about myself, my childhood and my upbringing, and I became really, really angry and really sad. And I never felt like those feelings were gonna pass. And it took a lot of freaking work. It took a lot of self-care, of self-compassion, of journaling, of going to therapy, of doing the work for myself, of figuring out what works for me. It took a lot of work. But now I'm happy, and I can genuinely say I'm happy. I have so much love for myself and so much compassion for myself, and I'm really genuinely happy. I had to cut off that family member that was not supportive of me, because I needed to start to love myself. I needed to first love myself and have compassion for myself and really just be happy in my own skin, because I was seeking validation from others for so long. And now I'm confident that I'm enough for me. I can stand on my own 2 feet. And that's a really beautiful place to be in after years and years, almost a decade of struggling with depression and anxiety. But I'm learning, and I've learned tools to manage them. To anybody who's going through the anger and the sadness and the grief right now, I know that those feelings from personal experience can feel so debilitating and like nothing else matters and like you're never going to get through this patch. But I can promise you, you will. I can promise you that there is a time when you won't feel it as deeply or as heavily. I can promise you that there is going to be light again. This is a really big deal for me to come on here and do a sit down video saying this is my story, this is what happened to me, because those years were the worst years of my life. I think I'm gonna end the video here because I feel like I've been very vulnerable. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I just wanted to say to you, it's okay. I basically just wanted to say that if you're in that period of grief, of healing, you're on that journey, that you're gonna be okay. And it's work to get there, it is. But eventually you will start to forgive yourself, and you will start to love yourself, and you will start to accept the things that have happened to you. Thank you guys so much for listening. I would really appreciate if you subscribed. We post new videos every Tuesday. Let me know if you liked videos like this, if this helped you at all, and if you want to see some more videos of me just rambling, talking to the camera, and let me know what other videos you want to see from me. Okay, bye.